We are a little over a month away from the release of Halo Campaign Evolved, and I'm sure some of you, including myself, still have some questions about the game. Well, recently, Halo Studios released a community Q&A blog, answering questions about skins, theater mode, additional content, and more. And honestly, some of the news here is pretty disappointing. So today, we are going to be going over the blog together, seeing what they have to say, and I'll be putting my thoughts into it as we go along. First question, will there be any collector's editions up for sale? We are humbled and blown away by the overwhelming excitement for the collector's edition. This was always intended to be a limited edition offering, but safe to say that demand has far exceeded what was projected and produced. The collector's edition is officially sold out and there are no plans to restock, which honestly sucks because I know there's a lot of people who really wanted it and it sold out like very quickly on their website. So I was hoping they would restock or just order more, but I guess they're not going to do that. They did address the scalping issue though with the next few sentences. With regards to reports of reselling, our retail partners have audited orders and found no evidence of widespread scalping. Only a tiny percentage of purchases showed suspicious behavior, and in those cases, orders were refunded and units were put back up for sale. As a reminder, some customers may choose to cancel their pre-order, so there's always a chance a few more units trickle in over the coming weeks. If you're a fan of awesome Halo statues, we are working with partners to release even more Halo Campaign Evolved collectibles throughout the year to help celebrate 25 years of Halo. Stay tuned for more info. So online, people were complaining about the scalping problem and how you could see them on eBay and all that stuff. I guess it wasn't that widespread of an issue compared to the amount of like copies they had, but still, I think some got away with that, obviously. It still sucks that some scalpers got away with it, but at the very least, there's some stuff to look forward to later in the year with more collectibles. Are there any Xbox account requirements to play the game solo or co-op? Yes, just as you do today for Halo the Master Chief Collection and Halo Infinite, to ensure smooth cross-platform progression, to play Halo Campaign Evolved, you will need a Microsoft account and Xbox gamertag, regardless of the platform you play on. This enables both cross-platform play and cross-platform progression. A few additional items to keep in mind for launch date include, for the Xbox Series X and S, if you're playing split screen on Xbox, a second player will need a unique Microsoft account. And if you want to play online co-op, you will need an Xbox Game Pass subscription. Same thing goes for PlayStation 5, except instead of Xbox Game Pass, you will need a PlayStation Plus account or subscription, I think, and also a Microsoft account. Hi, I'm currently editing this right now. I might have missed something very important. You see where it says both accounts will need to have a PlayStation Plus and be linked to a Microsoft account? Why do both the accounts need PlayStation Plus? That's a bit weird. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of split screen. And they should definitely change that because there's no way that should be allowed. Because at least for Xbox, you don't have to do that. And for some reason, PlayStation needs both accounts to have it. Really hope they could fix that. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with Microsoft, but you know, I don't know. It's stupid. It shouldn't be a thing. For Steam, you will only need the Microsoft account. Yeah, I think this was a given, like you would need a Microsoft account. I think PlayStation does that with Helldivers as well. Like I remember having to make a PlayStation account for that. So if you want to save time, probably should make a Microsoft account right now. It still sucks. You still have to pay for online subscription to play co-op online, but you know, that's just how the consoles are. Not me though, I'm on Steam. Probably the most disappointing news in this blog, will there be a photo or theater mode? The blind skull, which hides your UI, weapons, and hands from view, combined with the acrophobia skull, which allows you to fly, should be able to provide some incredible screenshot opportunities. But there are no current plans for a photo or theater mode in Campaign Evolved. So, I don't know, we basically have theater mode at home, which like straight up is extremely disappointing. Like that's really bad. I would say personally, because with theater mode, there's like a whole bunch of opportunities to like create funny screenshots or capture cool moments from like a different perspective. And I feel like we're going to lose something with that. And also just the fact that they aren't even going to add it later. There's no plans for it afterwards. I think that's a really big miss from Halo Studios and they should definitely reconsider that. Like if not for launch, maybe post-launch, they should definitely consider adding a theater mode. Because if they're not, there's still going to be backlash towards that. Can I turn off hit markers in game? And the answer to that is yes. We like to start by providing as much feedback as possible to players, and so this is enabled by default, but you should feel free to turn this feature off via the in-game settings. I'm personally probably going to turn those off in-game. I think what I like about Campaign Evolved is just the amount of accessibility features in the game that you can like fine-tune and change to your liking, so it's great to have those options. Can I wear the Mark IV armor in the base 10 missions? We love the Mark IV armor too, so we understand the desire to wear it everywhere, but it will only be available in the 3 new bonus missions. Which, like, you know, why? You know, it's like it doesn't make any sense. Like a lot of things with this game, it's like, okay, why'd you make this thing but not that thing? Because it's also like you have all these skins with like the Needler, the Hunter, Chief, the Roman, and then the classic ones, but you can't put the Mark IV onto the base game. Like that thing just doesn't make any sense to me. Will the Stanchion be usable in the bonus missions or in the main missions via campaign remix? Sergeant Johnson's Stanchion, which was featured in our new missions trailer, is his personal weapon and not one he likes to share. As such, it will not be featured outside his personal use in the prequel missions. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean no? Give me that weapon, Johnson, bro. So this was kind of confirmed already when people got access to the demos and they were able to get every single weapon but the Stanchion. And that confirms the 9 additional weapons that we have. Unfortunately, the Stanchion will not be part of it, which is incredibly disappointing. I would have loved to try out like a new weapon, you know. The other weapons are cool to have, to see some returning, but like a brand new weapon like the Stanchion, we've never seen that in the games before. The Halo Infinite model does not count. But yeah, really sucks about that. And right after that, we get even more sad news. If I customize my Spartan, will they show up in cutscenes with that armor? To ensure the narrative remains as faithful to the original game as possible, the personalized customization options you choose will not show up during cutscenes. And I just think that sucks. That really sucks, honestly. Like, okay, I get that thought, philosophy, whatever. I feel like it might be kind of bullshit though. Because as far as people will say, it's like the cutscenes are pre-rendered instead of like rendered in real time. And like I know like there's a lot of people getting into fights and one another because of like the skins. Like the skins look like shit or whatever. Regardless of the skins quality, I think having them in cutscenes makes them have more value, because the only times you would be able to see them is through other players or third-person skull, or like when you're in a vehicle. That's about it. There's nothing else. So that really sucks. I would have loved to just like put on the fucking Fanta Chief for shits and giggles and just like see him in a cutscene, but it really sucks that we can't have that. For all the people attempting LASO for this game, will LASO mean playing the game with truly all skulls active? We'll have a specific selection for skulls for LASO. Similar to MCC, it won't be all skulls, but it will be extremely challenging. We'll share more about the specific LASO selection in the lead up to launch. I would say that makes sense because some skulls kind of negate other skulls, and if you have like the acrophobia skull, that kind of just makes everything broken. How does the game balance enemy encounters for co-op? If you load up a co-op session via split screen or online play, each mission will scale appropriately depending on how many people you have in your lobby. This will show up in a few different ways. Number of enemies, rank of enemies, and enemy intelligence increases. And since not everyone in your co-op session will be at the same skill level, we've also introduced a new feature, difficulty modifiers, to help everyone enjoy their time together. Difficulty modifiers allow each player to adjust settings for themselves, which can help them have an easier time or a more difficult challenge. These settings are damage resistance, shield recharge rate, damage modifier, melee damage modifier, and ammo. Note there are some achievements that will not be earnable when difficulty modifiers are enabled for any members of your fire team. So the first half is pretty standard stuff, but the second half with damage modifiers is something new, I think. It is interesting how each player gets to fine-tune themselves to be either really OP or invincible. I don't really know how that would work. I guess it's a nice feature to have to like let people play how they would want to play. I just think it'll be really interesting when you have 4 different people and they try like 4 different sets of modifiers. This one also hurts to read. Will there be more content or features such as additional story DLC, firefight, new skulls, more customization, etc. added after launch? Halo Campaign Evolved is meant to focus on remaking the original campaign of Halo Combat Evolved and providing 3 fun new prequel missions. There are no plans to expand the game into a live service with continued content or feature additions. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it would be weird if it's a live service, but I feel you could still add DLC. Like, I think Resident Evil 9's getting DLCs. It's not unheard of that stories get additional content after launch, or like story mode games, sorry. And I feel like you could add Firefight. That feels like something easy to do, you know? That's really the only thing I would care about, because like I don't expect like new missions or anything like that, you know? But yeah, I feel like this is still a miss, because at the very least they could provide something to keep us going while we wait for the next Halo installment, because at the end of the day, this is still just a campaign. You know, you play it, you finish it, and then most people are done with it. And while campaign remix is a cool idea, I still think a firefight mode would have been awesome as well. Like, Halo Reach had Installation 04 level, and that's literally based off the Halo level. So, like, you know, you could do that. Could you at least think about it? It just gets worse with everyone. Will there be assassinations? No. There aren't any specific assassination animations, but your traditional backsmacks will continue to provide one-hit kills while helping you avoid detection in stealthier situations. I mean, I'm just saying, it's no secret that this is being built under the Breach Blam engine, right? The Unreal engine is like for visuals and all that stuff. Like, everyone knows about it. It's not even a secret. I just feel like that, like, either with a lot of these questions being answered, it's either they didn't allocate resources to it or they just didn't have the time to do it. Because if you're online, you'll see that like Halo Campaign Evolved has had some development issues over, I think it's been in development for almost 3 years. I feel like this is also just like a cool opportunity that they just missed. I think a mistake that is still being continued with Halo Studios from 343 is that they keep missing these easy small wins that they could take, right? Like stuff like brownie points that could like win the community over a little bit more. Assassinations, customization and cutscenes, theater mode is, you know, there's a lot of stuff there that could benefit Campaign Evolved and future Halo games that they just consistently ignore. I can only hope they include it for their next installment, but you know, would it be surprising if they don't? This one is unsurprising, but will there be a public demo of Halo Campaign Evolved ahead of launch? There are no plans to release a demo of the game before launch. If you're excited and want to get your hands on the game as soon as possible, you can pre-order the premium edition and get up to 5 days of early access. I mean, with the game only being a month away, I seriously doubt they would do a demo, but it's again another like missed opportunity they could have had replicating that Combat Evolved demo with Sergeant Johnson. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, and it's like, so you beat the Halo Combat Evolved demo, and it's like what you do for beating the Silent Cartographer. That would have been funny. That would have been great. That would have been easy free brownie points marketing that they just missed. I'm not surprised they weren't going to do a demo, but still, if they did, that would have been great. And the final question of the blog, do I need to play the original 3 missions before I can play the 3 new missions? You can play the prequel missions as soon as you launch the game. We want everyone to experience this new story, so we've decided not to gate it behind any specific tasks, actions, or paywalls. Load up the game, select the new missions, and enjoy another adventure with the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson. For brand new players, we do recommend starting with the original mission, as they are designed to help onboard players with tutorials along the way. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Well, I don't know. For like me thinking like about this, I'm like, it would have been interesting to see them like gate it behind the original Combat Evolved missions. And so like it'd be like a race to see. It's like, who's gonna finish the first original 10 missions first and get access to the prequel missions, you know? But this is also nice for people who have played Combat Evolved before like bajillion times, right? You could just go and enjoy the prequel missions right at the start. So, but yeah, those were some hard-hitting questions. And unfortunately, not a lot of the answers were the ones I think a lot of the community were wanting or expecting to see, which really sucks. I think it's important to criticize whenever like some of these decisions are made. As much as I'm gonna play Campaign Evolved, I'm sure I'll have a good time. But there's certain aspects like, no theater mode or just like a bunch of like other stuff, I'm gonna be critical about, because I like the game, but I think it could do better. You could say that about any game, but like with this one specifically, like I think you could definitely make some more strides to improve the experience. But they're going to be doing another one of these probably closer to the release. So we'll see what other stuff they'll have to answer. Hopefully it will be better news. But what are your thoughts on some of these questions and answers, like the response? Overall thoughts. I know I'm like kind of rambling because like this is kind of like a more unscripted video. I mean, if you guys enjoy that, let me know, But yeah, it is an interesting read. I do wish for better news though. But yeah, be sure to let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all when there's more Halo news. Talk to you later.